Welcome to the fashion algorithm. You know, there's a massive shift happening in AI right now, and I mean a really fundamental one that's about to completely rewire fashion e-commerce as we know it. We're talking about moving way beyond simple tools and stepping into the era of the AI agent. But first, let's be honest. Does this sound familiar? Your company is using AI. You've probably invested a good bit of money in the tech. You've heard all the buzz about generative AI, but when you actually look at the bottom line, you're just not seeing that real, tangible impact on revenue or profit. Yeah?
Well, you're definitely not alone. A recent McKinsey report actually put a name to this. They call it the Gen AI paradox. And these numbers show it perfectly. AI adoption is through the roof. We're talking nearly 8 out of 10 companies. But the actual impact on the bottom line? It's tiny. Fewer than 20% are seeing significant financial gains. That's a huge disconnect between all the effort and the actual results.
So, how in the world do we break out of this paradox? Well, the answer really lies in changing how we think about AI. We have to move from using AI as this kind of reactive tool that we just tell what to do, to embracing it as a proactive partner that can manage goals all on its own.
And this is exactly where the AI agent comes in. I want you to think of it as a truly autonomous system. You don't just give it a single command, you give it a goal, and from there, it creates its own plan and carries out these complex, multi-step tasks to get there. It remembers things, it can reason, and it can actually interact with your software, your systems, and even your people to get the job done.
And this difference is absolutely crucial. You know, we're all getting pretty used to co-pilots, right? They're reactive, they help you out when you ask them to. An AI agent, on the other hand, is proactive. It doesn't just work alongside a process, it becomes part of the process itself. It actually starts actions on its own. It's really the difference between an assistant you have to constantly direct and a teammate you can truly collaborate with.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in the real world for the fashion industry? Let's get practical. We're going to walk through 3 really concrete examples of how these agents can completely reinvent your business, from the warehouse all the way to your checkout page.
First up, let's talk about the backbone of any e-commerce business, the supply chain. This is one of those areas that is just so ripe for an agent-led transformation. I mean, the difference is just night and day. Before, you've got your team manually buried in spreadsheets trying to forecast demand. With an agent, it's scanning social media, sales data, even weather patterns, all in real time to predict what's about to be the next big thing. And instead of someone manually reordering stock, the agent is autonomously rebalancing it across your entire network. This takes the supply chain from being a slow, reactive function into a smart, predictive, and agile operation. Okay, next. Let's look at a function that has a massive impact on your customer loyalty. Your service desk. The impact here is just, wow. It's truly transformative. Simply giving your team some Gen AI tools might, shave 10% off how long it takes to solve a ticket. But when you reinvent the entire process with an agent, you're looking at a potential 60 to 90% reduction. So why is it so much better? Because the agent can resolve up to 80% of the common stuff. Where's my order, returns, shipping questions, all by itself, freeing up your incredible human team for the truly complex problems that need their expertise. And now for the part I know everyone's been waiting for: marketing and sales. How can agents actually help you sell more, and maybe even more importantly, sell smarter? So check this out. This Shop the Look agent is a total game changer. Just imagine an agent monitoring the feeds of top influencers 24/7. It spots a new style that's starting to take off. It identifies the products, and then it instantly matches them to similar items you already have in your inventory. And this is the magic part, it automatically launches a targeted Shop the Look campaign. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is exactly the kind of technology that our sponsor, OutfitAlliance.com, is building, helping brands turn those fleeting influencer trends into real revenue, almost instantly. But, and this is a really big but, this revolution isn't just about plugging in some cool new technology. The biggest challenge here isn't going to be technical. It's going to be human. It's all about building trust and learning how to work in a totally new kind of team. And that means we need to get ahead of a few key challenges. First, we have to really clearly define new roles. Like, what do our human experts do now? Second, we absolutely need to establish governance, clear rules for how much autonomy these agents have. And third, we have to prevent what you could call agent sprawl,
making sure we have a coordinated strategy, not just an uncontrolled mess of different agents doing their own thing. This quote from an executive at Moderna just sums it up perfectly. AI is no longer a tool that you use, it's a colleague that you collaborate with. And that one little shift in thinking changes absolutely everything about how we design our workflows and our organizations.
So this leads us to the final and maybe most critical point. The time for just dabbling, for scattered, small-scale AI experiments, it's over. Adopting agentic AI is now a strategic mandate, and it needs to come from the very top of the organization. This shift really has to be deliberate. We have to move from all those scattered little experiments to focused, strategic programs that target high-value areas. We've got to stop just tweaking single tasks and start reinventing entire processes. And we need to break down those siloed AI teams and build cross-functional squads where your business, data, and tech experts are all working together from day one. So I'll just leave you with this question to really think about. What would your business actually look like if agents ran 60% of your marketing, or your supply chain, or your customer service? Forget all the repetitive stuff. What incredible, high-value, creative work would your team finally be free to do? That's all for this explainer from the Fashion Algorithm, sponsored by our friends at OutfitAlliance.com. If you found this valuable, please share it with a colleague who needs to know what's coming next. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown of the tech that's reshaping fashion. Thanks so much for joining us.